Let's get real.
Welcome back to Real Talk with Menashe. I am your host, Menashe Chininganya. How are you guys doing? I hope you're doing well. If you're used to seeing my beautiful face, it is not the case for this episode. This is an audio-only episode. Why, you may ask? You guys, I don't have it in me this week to record it. I look so tired. Nobody would want to see this face anyway. It's just a lot of effort for me today. But I've also always wanted to do an audio episode anyway. And if you listen on like iTunes or Apple Music or whatever it's called, it's only audio anyway. And it's a podcast, so you don't need to see my face. But I know some of you are used to it, so I feel your pain. Just know that I'm actually doing you a great service by not showing you my face because y'all not trying to see this today. I am so exhausted. Let me fill you in on what happened since we last spoke. So I went to Universal. Okay. Now that to some people might be like really exciting and fun. It wasn't not fun for me, but I don't like roller coasters. So that alone takes out like pretty much the whole point of going. Not the whole point, but a lot of it. It was work for me. So I had to go regardless, but I don't know. I'm just not into roller coasters. And here's the thing. I've tried, okay? I've tried to be into roller coasters. I can do like little ones, but for the most part, the roller coasters that are at Universal are pretty intense. And like the way I like to explain it is that someone who loves roller coasters, when they're on it, they're having the time of their life, hands up, no care in the world, screaming, woo, like the whole thing. When I'm on a roller coaster, I'm literally counting down the seconds until it's over. And I'm not exaggerating when I say that I do feel like death is upon me. So it's just not my cup of tea. But that being said, like Universal can be fun for a whole bunch of different reasons, right? Like I had to go last year. It was good. Like this year, not a problem. There were some other variables, however, that made it a bit unfortunate. So it was also raining. The whole weekend it was raining, and there was a cold front, so temperature dropped. I'm not exactly sure why we're dealing with cold temperatures in February. I live in Florida. Like, I'm not getting it. I know that if you live in other states, it's cold all the time there. That's great, but that's also what you signed up for. Like, it's Florida here. We don't normally have this type of weather. Global warming, whatever. I don't know. But we had another cold front that came through. But there was also rain. So it's like I'm dealing with the rain, I'm dealing with the cold. How do you dress for that? Okay. There's water resistant clothing. Sure. Like a water resistant jacket that helps with the rain, doesn't help with the cold. So it was just this weird thing where we were trying to just like navigate the weather. We're also outside, you know, it's a theme park. So we're out here in this weather. I'm already not into roller coasters. So there were moments where I was like, wait, like, why am I here? But I don't want to make it sound like I had a horrible time because I didn't. One thing about me is I will make the whole thing fit to what I need it to be for myself. So I will make the best of a situation. But it was just, even for the people that like love Universal, it was a bit unfortunate with the weather. But that being said, everybody had a fun time. Everyone enjoyed themselves, whatever they chose to do. I personally, because this is the thing with me, is I don't like roller coasters, like I've said, but I'm not annoying about it. Like I like to stand with my friends in line and then I'll hold the bags. I'll do whatever. Like I like to be a part of it and just do the parts that I know I can handle. And if you don't try to pressure me into something, I'm good. You know, that's just how I am. But I didn't have any want to do that in this weather. So I was like, you know what am I going to do? It hadn't really processed in years past, but there's a movie theater in City Walk. City Walk's like the area where there's restaurants and like, I don't know, all these other things that you can go to without a ticket. If you're not going to Universal, like the theme park or Islands of Adventure, you can go there for like a lot of different reasons. And then if you want to go into the park, you buy a ticket to go into the park. So in City Walk, there was a movie theater and we went 2 days. Oh my gosh, you guys, I didn't even properly explain this. Let me start over. We woke up at the crack of dawn on Saturday. Crack of dawn, like 6 a.m. And we drove there and we were there all day. I think we got there around 10 something. Let's just say we got there at 10. I don't remember anymore. We were there from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. when the park closed. I cannot make this up. It really felt like we were at the park. That day just felt like 2 days, 2 full days. Okay. It just felt like 2 full days. It was one day. Okay, cool. Then we spent the night at the hotel. Next day at the park, first thing in the morning, before the gates even open, we're there. Boom. And then we were there until about like 6 o'clock or something like that. And then we had a 3-hour drive back home. So it was a very quick, fast-paced weekend, but I don't know, for some reason it just felt like we were gone for days when really it was just 48 hours. But I promise you, like, we all aged on that trip. Like, I don't know what happened. We all aged a little bit. Thankfully for me, black doesn't crack, so it's okay. Like, I bounced back. Like, I'm bouncing back now. Hence why I'm not on camera today. But yeah, a face mask is gonna do the trick. Like, I'm not worried. It just was so much. And we all got back and I was like, guys, do you understand that yesterday we were here? Like, we were here yesterday, but why does it feel like we haven't seen this place for like a week? I don't know. But maybe that just means that we all had a really great time. That's what I like to think. I just think the weather component played a huge part in it as well. But you know what? It is what it is. That was the weekend that we had already planned to go. So what are you going to do? And then the good news was we had the Monday off as a break. Like, it was a holiday, so everyone got to rest. And you know what? We're back at it. But yeah, very interesting weekend. On the Sunday, so we went Saturday, Sunday, I told myself, okay, this weather is going to be like this. That's fine. I'm going to the movies. So I had myself a nice little movie moment. I bought myself some snacks. Like, I did walk around Alice Adventure and do like a little bit for a while, but I don't know. I can only take so many raindrops popping on my head or on my poncho before I was like, okay, let me get a grip. Let me just get a grip, go to the movies. I went and saw Willy Wonka. I didn't necessarily want to see Willy Wonka. I thought it was going to be really bad, to be honest. But I was pleasantly surprised. I thought it was a remake. It's not a remake of when Johnny Depp was Willy Wonka. It's Timothy Chalamet. It's like his origin story, but he's Willy Wonka. And it was great. It was a musical and it wasn't like overly annoying or anything. And I thought it was really well done. So I was pleasantly surprised. I went in to avoid the weather and I ended up leaving being really happy and full. So it was all in all a really great time. So yeah, that being said, let's get into my main point for today, okay? Today I want to talk about how to live an unbothered life. Now, what is an unbothered life, okay? I'm going to read it to you. Being unbothered doesn't mean being indifferent or apathetic. It means choosing where you want to invest your emotional energy wisely. There are just some things that you need to just not involve yourself in because it doesn't help you at all. It causes you to spiral. It causes you to be in situations and you look back and you're like, wait, why am I even involved or care about this? Okay, this has nothing to do with me. I have enough going on in my life. Okay, so these are just ways in the workplace, whatever you do, I don't know, where you just need to be like, wait a second. I don't got time for this, okay? You need to figure this out on your own. I don't got time for you. Mind your business, okay? First of all, mind your business. If you are minding your business, I promise you won't have enough time to be minding anyone else's. And if you have time to be minding other people's business, then you don't have enough on your plate. Get a hobby. Get a job, get something to do, okay? Because in 2024, to be minding other people's businesses, who has the time? Do you know how crazy life is? Like your own life. Think about it. How crazy it is, how random things happen on a day-to-day basis. How on earth do you have time, or does anyone have time to be worried about other people and what they've got going on? If you simply mind your business and focus on your day-to-day life, you will start to be very unbothered when it comes to other people because you just simply won't have the time for it. Next, everyone needs to practice self-care. Everybody needs self-care. Now, self-care looks different for everyone. Self-care for me is at the end of this little podcast, I'm doing a face mask. Why? Because I need it. Why? Because this weekend just about took me out, okay? And now my skin is paying the price. That is my version of self-care today. But add things to your routine. Sometimes life gets so crazy that you have to literally intentionally add things to your routine that it's pretty much like you showing yourself that you love yourself. That's really what self-care is. If you won't show yourself love, who on earth is going to do it for you? Okay? You have to intentionally add things to your life, whatever that may be for you. Maybe it's reading a book, okay, or something, or going on a walk, whatever. But you need to do these things intentionally for yourself, okay? Because you need it. Not only do you deserve it, you actually need it. Stop investing your time and your energy into other people's problems and invest it into a good book. If you don't take the time for yourself, who's going to do it? Who's going to do it? You need to be intentional. You need to take the time for yourself and do the things that make you happy. And obviously no one doesn't want to do those things for themselves. Like in a perfect world, everyone's like, yeah, of course I would do these things for myself. But sometimes life gets so crazy that you have to actually intentionally be like, you know what? No, I am going to make this a priority for myself today because I need this for myself. Another thing that's crucial to living an unbothered life is letting go of the things you can't control. Okay. Sometimes you have to accept that things in life, you just do not have control over them as much as you want to. And instead of dwelling on them and focusing all your energy on these things that you cannot control, you just have to let it be what it is or try to take action when it's possible. And if there's no action to be taken, then you're just going to have to let it go. You're just going to have to let it go. Why? Because focusing and harboring on something that you really cannot change does nothing for you. It does nothing for you. And it's a waste of time. Okay? So focus on the things that you can change. Focus on the things that you can actually make a difference in, whatever it is. I'm talking about work. I'm talking about personal. I'm talking about whatever, dude. Like, just focus on the things that you can change. And if you can't change it, let it go. Let it go. There are so many things, you guys. There are so many things that I wish I could change. I look around sometimes and I'm like, these people are pissing me off. But I can't change it. So I walk away and I let it go. And I'm not going to lie to you. This is something that I am still working on because sometimes I do let myself get caught up. And then I think after and I'm just like, what was even the point of that? Like, why did I even do all that? I changed nothing. All it did is it made me go from 0 to 100 and I don't feel any better about it. Just let it go. Walk away. If things are happening and it really has nothing to do with you and you're able to remove yourself from the situation, remove yourself. Okay. This is easier said than done. This is something that I struggle with sometimes, but I realized in my life that the more that I tried to fix everything or I tried to, I don't know, involve myself, not even like purposefully involve myself. I just got thrown or involved in something that had nothing to do with me. I started to feel drained. Okay. I don't mind being a listening ear. I'm always there for the people that need me. But I'll even tell my friends or whoever, like my loved ones, like if there's nothing that can be done about it, we need to let it go. Or we need to figure out a solution to the problem. But we can't talk about this forever. Okay. Not forever. Like we have to be real with ourselves. And that is something that is easier said than done, but very, very important. Set healthy boundaries. In order to remain unbothered, you're going to have to let some people know. You could put unbothered on your doorstep and someone's still going to knock on the door and try to bother you. Like they don't care. They don't care. So sometimes you're going to have to set the boundary and be like, listen, respectfully, get away from me. Respectfully, I don't want to talk about this. Respectfully, there's nothing I can do for you. Respectfully, I don't care. Like, I don't care. Yeah, you have to set boundaries. Again, easier said than done, but so much better for you in the long run to set boundaries than to allow yourself to be the punching bag for everything all the time. And then when you set those boundaries, the people around you will start to receive the boundaries. I mean, what choice do they have? And then it just allows you to also just be a better person in general so that when you are being helpful and stuff, you have something to give. Like, I'm telling you, some people are so oblivious and sometimes you just have to let them know, like, enough, like for real, enough. Learning to say no is such a key component to being unbothered in this life. It's also part of like setting healthy boundaries, I think, is just knowing when to say no when it's necessary. It helps protect your mental health and your emotional well-being. And it's okay to prioritize your needs and say no to things that don't align with your values or your goals. I feel like for me, this is another thing I struggle with because when I care about somebody, I want to be there for them in ways that I can. And there's instances in my life where I can look back and I was so quick to say yes because I cared about the person, but I knew that didn't align, whatever they were trying to do didn't align with the values or goals for my life or didn't align with like me, like spiritually or anything. Like I just knew it wasn't something I should be doing, but I said yes because I didn't want to let them down. But by saying yes to them, I let myself down, if that makes sense. And so I just feel like you have to know when to say no, when it's necessary. depending on who you're dealing with, of course, maybe there's a way you've got to approach it. But all of these things are important, because if you don't have any boundaries or anything for yourself, if you accept everything, if you're in everyone's business and you don't practice self-care, I just feel like you're putting yourself in a position to just be like kind of used and abused in this world, whether it's in like your workplace or whether it's in your day-to-day life or even your friendships. Like if you don't have any structure in your life, who exactly are you expecting to put the structure there? You know what I mean? You've got to set aside time for yourself. You've got to prioritize yourself, boundaries, create a healthy lifestyle for yourself so that you can be the best version of yourself for all the people around you that care about you and need you. Okay. And also at the same time, it's like we all learn from each other. And I always say, like, I want to have people around me who are like, have a healthy mindset. Okay. And know how to be unbothered, or know how to be like, you know what, like, let's stop talking about this, or let's solve a problem, Menashe, or like let it go, or whatever. You need those people in your life. I do not want a whole bunch of yes men in my life. I don't know about you guys. If you want that, all right. I can't be that, nor do I want that. I need people around me that are honest with me, not rude, just honest and keep it real with me. And I mean, I think that's like my little claim to fame, is keeping it real all the time. But it's just because it's important. And like, I don't know. I don't think it helps you in this world to just be lied to and just be like swung from left to right. You know what I mean? You need people in your life. And if you don't have people in your life, you need to be the person in your life that sets those boundaries for other people. And you know what? Set the boundaries, set the structure for your life, whatever, and everyone else will comply. What choice will they have? They won't have one. They'll have to comply. Like, that's how it goes. You know what I mean? Sometimes I don't even have the energy to go back and forth with people, and an eye roll is all I can give. But that again is personal preference. You know, I'd never expect any of you guys to do it, but I'm telling you, it does work if done correctly. So that being said, that is my little spiel on being unbothered. I think we should all be a bit more unbothered. If you haven't been unbothered at all, start becoming unbothered. The moment I really started to like prioritize myself, add boundaries, do all the things I needed to do, my life got a lot better. I still struggle with things, like nothing's perfect, but I started like standing up for myself a bit more, and I'm still working on it and prioritizing myself and being like, okay, if I don't prioritize myself in these areas, like no one's going to wake up and do it for me, and everything, I can see myself moving in the direction that I want to move in life. And again, I don't have control over everything. You deal with curveballs of life in your day to day and whatever. But just having things, a better structure, has really helped me immensely. And I truly believe that it would help you as well. So let's be unbothered. #unbothered 2024. You know I love a hashtag, and I think we'll all be better off for it. Speaking of being unbothered, setting boundaries, doing self-care, all that jazz, I'm going to go do a face mask now. It's time. So I love you guys. I wish you an amazing week. Do something for yourself. Treat yourself. You know, I'm always going to treat myself. Have an amazing week, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.